Scott Jenkins here, tournament chair for the 2021 Waste Management Phoenix Open, and I have the distinct pleasure of having Gary Woodland with me this morning. Gary's four-time champion on the PGA Tour, including the epic U.S. Open, and he's our champion from 2018 at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Gary, how we doing?
Doing nice. I've had a couple weeks off, so that's been nice to relax at home a little bit, getting ready to get back on the road soon. But, you know, dealing with the new norm, I guess, we have going on right now. But it's allowed me to spend a lot of time at home with the family, so all that's a good thing.
So where are you, obviously you're poolside right now. Where are you posted up?
I'm on the back patio. I got three kids running around inside, so I was trying to find somewhere quiet. But we're down in South Florida. A little hot and humid down here, but hot and humid beats the cold for me any day of the week.
There you go. So you mentioned it, 2020, a little different PGA Tour year, correct? Tell us a little bit about your return to golf and obviously the layoff, and then how you came back and how'd you prepare to get ready to get back on tour?
Yeah, you know, it's different in our sport because we don't really have an off season. So knowing that we were going to have an extended break through COVID, I tried to take some time to work on my body. I lost some weight, got in a little better shape, but really I put the clubs away for a while. Took some time with the family. You know, we had new babies at the time. So it was nice to spend some time at home, kind of enjoy the off season, and then try to work on some things throughout the golf swing, throughout the chipping and putting that you really don't have time to work on during the season. So I took it kind of as an off season, came back, and I played a lot of golf, more golf than I would typically play, you know, just because we were off for so long. I wanted to get back at it. But, you know, still through all that, battling injuries, getting back on the road with the new norm. I rented a lot of houses during COVID. When we started up again, usually I'm in hotels, but just trying to create my own little bubble and, you know, try to get used to what we're doing. So for me, it was a nice break. It was nice to also to get back to work and to get traveling, even though it's a little different. You know, we miss the fans. We miss the energy that they bring. But it is nice to be out there and putting on some entertainment and hopefully putting on a good show for TV.
So you mentioned the fans. Obviously with the return to golf, there were no fans. There's still limited fans, if any, in most of the tour spots. Tell us a little bit about the difference of playing events without fans.
You know, the first couple of weeks it was kind of nice. Just, you know, it was kind of peaceful. You know, out there, it's almost like a practice round. And then after a month, I mean, it's just, for me personally, it felt like I said, there was no energy. You know, especially when you get to a major championship. You feed off that energy, you feed off the mojo that the fans, you know, are bringing. You can hear the roars around the golf course. We don't have that. And, you know, we miss it. You know, I think it's a big step that you see football and you see some of these other sports having fans there. Hopefully we can get those fans back out very soon because we need that. We need that excitement. We need that energy because it brings a lot to our game. And I think it changes stuff. You know, especially coming down the stretch, you know, to get that excitement, get that blood flowing, hear that crowd roaring, whether they're rooting for you or against you. We miss them, we need them, and we definitely look forward to having them back.
Next up on the calendar as far as majors is the Masters. Can you tell us a little bit about your preparation for the Masters and when does that start and anything you do? No trade secrets, you know, but anything you do special to get ready for the Masters? You
know, really for me personally, about a month or so leading in, I start working on golf shots that I'm going to need at Augusta. Starting getting the golf ball a little bit higher, landing it, working really on distance control, some big breaking putts, hitting it both directions. At Augusta, you need every shot, especially off the tee box, especially coming in trying to get to some of those pins and funneling off those slopes. And then outside of that, your short game has to be on point. So you're obviously working on every aspect, but for me personally, it's getting the golf ball a little bit higher. And working on distance control because distance control there is everything.
So when you're prepping for these tournaments, is there a group of guys that you typically practice with or get practice rounds with? Do you have any guys on tour that you're you know, are your regulars in your group?
Yeah, you know, I play a lot with Dustin Johnson, probably more Dustin than anybody. Kuchar and I play a lot together, JT. So it kind of varies. You know, I like to do some work at least one day a week, get out by myself and really focus on what I'm trying to do. When I'm playing with, you know, JT and I like to kind of the similar deal. We're out there practicing, working hard on that. When I'm playing with DJ and Cooch, we're doing a little more games and you know, working on certain aspects of our game. We do a lot of short game competitions and stuff. So it's a nice variety, I would say. But for me personally, I'm at a golf tournament. I'm there to get my work in. I'm there to win a golf tournament. So I'm not messing around too much. I'm there to practice and grind. So when I get to Augusta, I like to play with guys that have, the last couple of years I played with Tom Watson. I played with VJ in practice rounds. To play with guys that have had success on that golf course, try to pick their brain a little bit. I play with Bernard Langer. So it's nice to play with guys that, that course is so much local knowledge, that have had that and had success and won, and try to pick up something from them.
Let's pivot to another course that you have local knowledge, TPC Scottsdale, home of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. I believe your first year playing our event was 2009. Can you take us through with that experience the first time?
I'll tell you what, I Mondayed in. I Monday qualified, which on the PGA Tour is very hard, let alone the Waste Management might be the hardest one to get in because everybody wants to play. So I played great, got through the Monday qualifier, and made, I think it was my first cut I've ever made, I think, that year on the PGA Tour. But anyway, it was a great week for me because Phoenix, like I said, it's obviously a great golf tournament, but it's an entertainment, a bigger entertainment value, I would say, than any tournament we play. So I have a lot of friends and family come out, and so it's always been a special week for me. Being my first cut I made, and then in 2011 I got my first exemption on the PGA Tour into the Waste Management in 2011. So, and played well that week. So it's kind of been a ritual where all my friends and family come out. I have a bunch of people out there, and like I said, hopefully when this COVID flips, hopefully we can flip it before the Waste Management because I'd love to have my friends and family out there with me again.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about, as you're coming on the back nine and you start hitting 14, 15, and you hear the noise, of 16, 17, 18. What goes through your mind? How do you deal with that? And,
you try to block it out because you can hear the noise on 14, 15, but you can also hear the noise on number one. You can hear 16 from all over the golf course. So and it's funny, in 2009 when I played there, if you missed the green, you got booed. Now if you make par, they boo you because everybody's gambling on somebody. So somebody's booing you no matter what you do. Even if you make birdie, you're getting booed. But it's an exciting hole, but it's one you got to control your emotions. The golf ball, you're checking the wind more than anything on 14 and 15. Just trying to see where that wind's coming because when you get in that stadium, it's a little hard to see, what's going on. So you got to trust what you're doing. Reminds me a lot of kind of number 12 at Augusta National because there on 11, you're really trying to find that wind for that tee shot because you get down in those trees, you can't feel it. It's a similar deal on 16 at TPC Scottsdale. You really want to find that win on 14, 15 because when you get in there on 16, you got to trust what you're doing. They got those back pins that are brutal hard, especially when the greens get firmed up, long's dead. There's just a lot of holes, a lot of pin placements on that you don't want to miss in certain spots, and that's really one you don't want to chip on. You want to get in the middle of the green. Birdie's great. Take your par and get out of there and go birdie 17.
Take your booze on the middle of the green.
Correct.
Just raising the level, right? Walk me through what's your strategy when you hit 17. What do you typically?
17, I think, is one of the best drivable holes, par fours we have on the PGA Tour. Obviously, it's the only hole, I think. It's the only time somebody's made a double eagle, I believe, on a par four. It gives you that chance to make birdie, to make eagle, but also, you have an opportunity. You hit a bad shot and you get out of position, you can make a big number. And I think that's the risk reward is huge. I've always been one with my length to go for that green. And sometimes I'm not trying to knock it on as much as I'm trying to cover that bunker in the middle of the fairway and run it just short of the green because just short you can get to about every pin. That back left pin might be one of the hardest pin placements on the PGA Tour. It's in back there in that little nook, runs off, runs through the water left, runs through the water over. It's just you want to miss your tee shot right, but not to that pin. So it's a great hole that makes you think, makes you hit a good shot. I birdied that hole when I won in 2018, which was a huge deal for me because I was one back at the time. So I knocked it just short right of the green, which to that front left pin is an ideal position to have a lot of green to work with. And was able to get it up and down. So I think it's one of the best drivable par fours we have on the PGA Tour. And one, after you make par on 16, you're definitely looking forward to making birdie on.
And as we mentioned, you're our champion from 2018, and so there you were on the 18th hole. What was going through your head as you're on the tee, looking at the water? What's your game plan on 18?
I was so juiced up. I just birdied 15. I just birdied 16, which was the first time I'd made birdie on 16 since 2011. So it'd been a long time since I birdied 16. And I go in and I birdie 17. So I had so much adrenaline going to 18. The water really wasn't in play. I was going to cover that. I was so pumped up, and I hit a bomb down there on 18 in regulation. I had a little flip lob wedge into the green, and ended up hitting a great shot and making par. Then Ches made birdie on, I think, 17. And he birdied 18, so we went to a playoff. And then I didn't have as much adrenaline, so that tee shot became a little more difficult because, like you said, the water's there. The bunkers, they did a great job with making it more difficult if you miss it left. Before that, you could just bomb it left, and you had an easy flip shot, wedge shot in there. So they've done a great job tightening that hole up, especially for me. I want to avoid the bunkers on the left. And unfortunately, I hit it in those bunkers in the playoff. I got a lucky break, got a good bounce in there, and was able to hit a wedge just short of the green. And unfortunately, par was good enough to win.
So you mentioned that Waste Management Phoenix Open is a popular spot for friends and family. What was it like winning and having everyone there, to celebrate with you?
Awesome. Like I said, that my family and friends don't get to come out to a lot of tournaments, and that's one they make it a kind of a ritual every year. We all meet there, and we all get to spend some time together. And then you throw in Super Bowl Sunday after the tournament. We were able to spend some time in Kansas. A lot of people avoid the winter, and they go out to Scottsdale. So we were able to go over to a friend of ours, George Brett's house, watch the Super Bowl with all our friends and family. I think my dad was more excited to spend time with George Brett than he was that I won the tournament that week. But it's just a great week. It's a great night. We look forward to spending time every year on Sunday. But to be able to share that with them, watch the Super Bowl at one of my heroes' house, George Brett, that evening was a great week.
That's awesome. We're talking fans, and someone that's a huge fan of you, Amy Bockerstadt, obviously our organization's a huge fan of Amy. I had the pleasure that year of being the security chair for the Thunderbirds. So I was down on the tee, walked her down, and fortunately had my two sons with me. And so we walked the hole with you. We walked the hole with Amy. Got to experience, not a dry eye in the house. Can you tell us a little bit more, kind of behind the scenes of that? Obviously, everybody's seen the video. There's probably 100 million views of that. Can you tell us a little bit behind the scenes and how that all went down?
Yeah, in this game, especially being defending champ, but you get to do a lot of cool things, and you get to meet a lot of cool people. Every week, you're playing in pro-ams, you're doing stuff, you're meeting special people. There's been nobody in my time on the PGA Tour and the people that I've met that's had a positive impact on me like Amy has. And it was a couple of weeks out before the tournament. I was asked if I would play a hole with Amy. They sent me her story, sent me some of her golf swings on video. So I was excited to meet her and, play the 16th hole and spend the day or that hole with her, I guess, the 15, 20 minutes we were together. I didn't fast forward to today, 2.5 years later. I never thought we would still be, great friends today and talk regularly and stay in contact. And that's what's been so special about it. Her impact, her attitude, her love for the game, her love for life is contagious. I know I need it in my life. I think the whole world, especially with everything that's going on right now, needs a lot more of Amy in it. And I was more nervous for her that day than I was, anytime walking down, the 18th hole in the playoff there at the Waste Management, or walking down the 72nd hole of the U.S. Open. I was so nervous for her. Like I said, it's an intimidating hole there on 16. It's her first time playing in front of who knows how many thousand fans were there. It was Wednesday afternoon. I don't want to miss the green. She hits it in the bunker, hit a great shot. I wanted to get it out of the bunker for her. She kept saying, "No, I got this. I got this." That's not a bunker shot I want, and I hit shots every day. She hits an unbelievable bunker shot, and I've never wanted a putt to go in more than that putt she had, and she hit a perfect putt, went right in the dead center. So it was so special, not only that she made par, but the impact she's had on myself and everybody around. Like you said, the Thunderbirds have been huge supportive of her and helped her foundation, which is just amazing. But like I said, we can all join on to that and help her out and take that love and energy and attitude she has towards life and apply it to ourselves.
I mean, truly, truly inspirational, and such a magic moment in our tournament. The fact that she had no idea she was going to hit a shot. And the fact that she steps up, meets you, she loves you, hits the shot, and then gets up and down. And like you said, there wasn't a dry eye in the house, and when she made that putt, that was just truly a magic moment. So.
And shows you how confident she was. Like you said, she didn't know. They had told her that we were just going to meet. I was just going to meet her. And when I asked her to play the hole, she had no idea. She's like, absolutely. She had no fear. I mean, most people, you bring them in that state, you want to hit a shot on 16 in front of all these? No, I don't want to do it. She was all about it, confident every step of the way. And it was awesome to see and awesome to be part of.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You are so good.
Thank you.
Amy, it was awesome to meet you. You're an inspiration to us, all right?
Okay.
You're our hero.
So let's talk a little bit. Mention other sports. Rumor on the streets, you're a pretty good basketball player back in the day.
Back in the day, a long time ago. I'm getting old now.
Yeah, I hear you. So talk to me a little bit about your basketball career. I know you're a huge Kansas Jayhawk fan.
I am. I've grown up in Kansas. Basketball is everything. Obviously Kansas basketball, the history. Dr. Naismith, who invented basketball, was the first coach there. So basketball was always just in our blood. I grew up playing, but playing in Kansas, you have the winter, you stop playing, I guess, during the summer to play golf, and then I played basketball during the winter when I couldn't go hit golf balls. So I always grew up. We had basketball tickets to KU. I always grew up a fan, and it was something I wanted to do my whole life, was to be a basketball player. I decided to play in college, and our first game was against the University of Kansas, and I learned very quickly basketball was not going to be my sport for my future. And golf was my next option. So fortunately, I had that to fall back on. But basketball's still in my blood. I love it.
Any particular game that sticks out in your memory as far as favorite Kansas game over the years?
There's been a lot. The best one I've ever been to was 2012. The last time KU played Missouri. It was our biggest rival. Missouri was going to the SEC. We were done playing. It was the last time. We were both ranked in the top 5. It was at Allen Fieldhouse. Overtime game. KU ended up pulling it out. I'd never heard a place so loud. It was just awesome energy, awesome to be part of. And obviously, I went to the national championship game when they beat Memphis. So that was obviously a good time. Anytime you can win a national championship, it's pretty cool. So there's been a lot of games. I try to get back. I have season tickets. I try to get back a couple times a year, but it's tough living in South Florida. So my family enjoys those tickets, I guess, more than I do.
So you're saying it wasn't the 1997 game against the Arizona Wildcats?
I did not. That
Mike Bibby,
the greatest college basketball team ever, got upset. Yeah. That was horrible. Paul Pierce, everybody. They were so good that year.
You can tell where I went to school. So, Gary, thanks so much for your time. You're a great champion. You're a great friend of the Thunderbirds, great friend of our tournament. We're really looking forward to see you, the first week of February for the 2021 Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Can't wait to get back. Look forward to it.